I'm Dean Wheatley, the city planner for the city of North Liberty. I was with the city of Cedar Rapids for a lot of years. I had found that I had done almost everything there was to do in Cedar Rapids, and I was looking for an opportunity to be more involved with the city where I could have more of an impact. And I think that North Liberty is that kind of a city, a smaller city staff, much more vital, lots of things going on, a lot of responsibility at the staff level, and a great group of elected officials. What really interests me about North Liberty is that it's a growing community. There's not a lot of older North Liberty. Almost all of North Liberty is newer, post mid-60s or mid-50s even. And so most of North Liberty's history is ahead of it rather than behind it maybe. And while cities are here for a long time, North Liberty hasn't been here as long as many other cities. So what we're doing in North Liberty now, the elected officials and the staff, are really in many ways creating the future of North Liberty. So I find that to be quite a challenge, and I think that, or I hope that I'll be a part of making North Liberty a great place in the future. Well, I think that what's happened for North Liberty in the last 10 years is a lot of new development. Everybody knows that. A lot of residential development. Not so much a lot of commercial development. So I think that the next big trend in North Liberty will probably be the commercial services following the residential development that's here. A lot of times what happens is in high growth areas, there aren't too many in Iowa, but around the country, is that businesses use census information for location decisions. And in 2000, the population of North Liberty was obviously much smaller than it is today. And so probably we're going to start popping onto some of the radar screens for companies that are looking for areas to provide new services to. So I would imagine that we'll see more uses like movie rental places, restaurants, businesses that support the residential development that we have here. I would say that North Liberty's big advantages are we're growing, and so everything here is very vital, but yet we're still small enough that any resident can feel like they can play a big part in the decisions that are made by the city council, and the city staff. So it's an interesting place to be. The other part of it is we're very close to some big attractions, the vitality of Iowa City, the things that are always going on there. All the commercial development in Coralville is very close by. And the large number of jobs in Cedar Rapids are also close by. Great access to 380 and Interstate 80, the Cedar Rapids Airport, just lots of good reasons to locate here. I have two sons. I have an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old. My 18-year-old will be going into engineering at Iowa State this fall, and my 14-year-old I'm sure will be terrifying me as he learns how to drive this year. Typically I'll come in somewhere between 6:30 and 8, and just depending on the day and what's going on. And I would say normally a lot of my day is taken up answering questions from citizens, developers, elected officials, other planners from other places. So I'm sort of an information agent. I spend a lot of time on the phone. I spend a lot of time with Outlook, emailing folks. A lot of the questions are about North Liberty ordinances, so I'm frequently spending time researching ordinances. I frequently spend a lot of time looking up information from previous zoning cases and development cases, because questions will come up about what can be done and what can't be done. I would say in North Liberty, like many cities, for some reason signs tend to be a hot issue. So folks I take a lot of calls about what can we have for signage, and that's just one example. I would be the first point of contact for developers coming to town or developers with property in town who have not yet gotten approval to build. So if they need a different, or if they'd like to have a different zoning district than what they currently have, or if they have a parcel, one or more parcels that are zoned what they need to be zoned for, and they just need to have plans approved, development plans approved, what we call a site plan, they would come to me. And I work as a coordinator with them and with the other city staff members, with the Planning Commission, and ultimately with City Council to make sure that their requests get processed and ultimately, hopefully, approved. I'm from Iowa. I'm from small town Iowa, Lost Nation, Iowa, which is just southwest of Maquoketa, in the very northwest corner of Clinton County. Great place to grow up. I think it was about 750 folks when I was growing up, farm community. In some ways a lot like North Liberty, because there was always a lot going on. I wouldn't say a lot of new growth in the city, but there were several restaurants, a cafe, a car dealer, a couple of bars, a supper club. You know, it was just a real hopping place. No, I think that most of the towns that I'm familiar with have serious shortcomings. I think my favorite town might be Madison, Wisconsin. They're known for being a city of neighborhoods and a city of parks. And if you're very familiar with Madison, it's a larger city, but they have pretty well defined neighborhoods. And as you drive around that city, you see the parks are well cared for. I think the neighborhoods identify with their parks and their small neighborhood commercial areas. I think that those are everybody likes the thought of the days when they were growing up and they could walk down the street to the grocery store or walk down the street to go to work. And I think we all want that for ourselves in some ways. But times have changed, and most businesses today can't survive with just neighborhood business. They have to be bigger than a neighborhood business, and that's hard to explain to people because there is that desire to get back to a simpler time and small business where you know the person behind the counter, and it's just very difficult for that to work anymore. Well, I have taken the opportunity to fly to Florida a number of times with my sons, and for pleasure. And I have to admit, it's a nice, fast way to get places. And until recently, anyway, it's been very cost-effective. So I like to fly longer distances, but I have to say that for a weekend jaunt, driving's the way to go. What I would have people or ask people to take away is that this is a very open, welcoming city, and we have a very informal city hall. It's very accessible to folks. The city meetings are all open public meetings, and public comment is welcome and is encouraged, and our Planning Commission chair almost begs people to come to Planning Commission meetings and come up to the podium and voice their opinions. So I think it's a great place to be, where you can be a part of the community if you choose to be. It's a vital, growing, exciting place, and it's neat. It's a great place to live, and for me, it's a great place to work.